So we'll look at that one on the left-hand side so we can just discuss that. As we said, it's a straight line would help, Gareth. There's your swing plane line, kind of there, okay? As that club goes back, if you swung the club, if you swung that club this side of the green line, the ball would generally go left because you're too steep and you just can't spread the club face up, okay? So you create loads of different things to try and stop it going to the left. Turn the club face in, put your thumb to the side, hit it to the right with your arms, or doing anything you possibly could to just try and, almost like a fail-safe, please don't go left kind of thing. Now the arms are underneath that swing plane. If we go back to where it would be there, your hands are nicely underneath that. When we come back to golf ball, the club now with all those things there are going to hit the golf ball a bit to the right as we saw. Now, if we watch this club face, that club for me is square. And I want to just show your hands as we're gripping the club, okay? So if we go back to your setup there, okay? Put that club down, that's kind of square there, okay? Now you're not really holding the club, but just watch that club twist there. As you're, as you're gripping the club, there's a bit of a twist, you see. So that twist in there as your feet move, okay? Then the club gets lifted up back to kind of square again. I think it's later on, and then so it's square, and then that for me is turned in a bit to the right there, and I'm not sure what happened. No, that's it, okay. But you can see that club face throughout the sort of duration of the setup is sort of, it always wants to kind of turn in this way. Now, if you're doing that there as you're gripping the club, your thumb at the top there, so your left finger here is kind of, your left finger is doing that little gripping here. So as your grip does that, so your grip and finger, so you're gripping your feet doing that. If we look at the club at the same time, okay, grip to the club face turn. So as your foot taps, that club's turning. Now, if we're having a little bit of difficulty, shall we say, doing it on here, when there's no fear of going left or right or anything, you imagine you get on the golf course, and I'm not saying not played St Mary's at all, but if you're playing on the first of St Mary's and there's out of bounds there, I guarantee you're going to have the club face pointing in that direction to some extent. Because you're not going to want to trust the fact yet. Now, down the line, potentially, you will do. Okay? As we go through that, you'll trust the fact you're getting the club face square and the ball will go, hey, where I want to go. As opposed to, well, if I swing it really high, it will go left, so I've got to try and compensate against that. And that's the thing we've got to try and avoid at all times. Why play golf with two things that are fighting against each other? Okay? A backswing hits the ball to the left, and some things during the setup and the downswing hit the ball to the right. One left, three rights could make a correct direction for the shot, but it's going to be hit and miss all over the place, we said. Okay, so trust in that club, and if needs be, just let clubs sit on them, especially the wood. They've got a flat sole there. They want to sit flat. Now, with the irons, are a little bit trickier because the club might sort of wobble. The sole's not quite as deep there, and so on to sit on. But if you look at a hybrid there, that's how to sit. Okay, that's flat on the ground. You'd want to be turning the club this way. So when you're in position, if you think you're right, let go of the club. If it's right, it will sit down. It will kind of, even just that small bit there, that's going to be 5-10 yards. That's probably almost 20. And if you were going to where you were before, that could be 25-30. But that's all done
last season before this is stock, I just pointed and hit it.
Exactly.
And now, but I'd lost it.
So you'd point and hit it to where you want to go. What happened was, at the moment now when the ball's going left, you pointed it where you didn't want to go. Or sorry, you pointed it away from where you didn't want to go, which was just, okay, do that. Because most people got the brains, I think, if the ball's going left, I do that with a golf club. If the ball's going right, I do that. But then we always do the setup. But the reason why it's going left and right generally isn't the fact the club's aiming this or that way, it's a swing issue. Okay. Once the swing issue gets fixed, as you've seen, your backswing now has changed massively. The ball now is not going left, is it? So it's more of a trust issue. Okay, good. Right.